This episode of Inside Gaming is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Don't let the strangers you game with online see what you're doing, huh? Get them out of there. Go to expressvpn.com/inside.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Inside Gaming Daily for 2021. Woo!
It's about goddamn time.
2020's in the rear view. Anyway, we are looking forwards now, nothing but forwards, and we are here to talk about what we see in these great green pastures, in these green pastures of video games out there on the horizon. And so we all have predictions about what's going to happen this year in our favorite industry. I will go first as the foremost games journalist and voice of my generation. I would like to put forward that I think we are going to get the Switch HD.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's going to be released by fall.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time. Well, the buzz will die down.
You think it'll be worth it?
No, not for me. I barely play my Switch as it is, and certainly not my HD games on it.
You don't want to play Bubble Bobble in IMAX 4K?
I feel like it's been, a rumor for a while that Switch Pro is on the way. Do you think an announcement comes as early as January or February? Do you think it comes later, the spring and then summer release?
I think spring, as we get into what will be, I guess, known as E3 season. I don't know if that'll be back. I guess that's a prediction for a different person. But I think we'll know about it, but not too long before it releases. Right?
Yeah,
that's kind of how they work now. It's hey, here's this thing. It's coming in 2 months.
I think Connor's probably right there. It'll probably be just hey, they'll announce it at the beginning of the quarter for 2021, and then it's just hey, here it is, April. As soon as March is over, it's all right, March is over. All right, April, we're gonna have a Nintendo Direct. Here's the new Switch thing. It's coming in a month. Pre-orders will be impossible to get, and you will want one. Please buy it.
What do you think it's gonna look like?
Same thing, but slightly bigger.
I say same thing, but slightly smaller.
I feel it'll undock, right? That it has to, right? It's a Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a 1080 screen handheld.
This feels like, a pretty safe prediction because they've talked about it a lot, and apparently they're gonna have a much better release calendar because 2020 was kind of bare for them. I mean, they had some big ones, but
hey, Pokemon DLC came out this year.
No, it was they had. Animal Crossing was huge, but it was also one game. So.
It's true.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'll go next. I feel like PlayStation 5 is going to continue to slay.
Yes, queen.
We don't have hard solid numbers that it's outselling the Xbox, but we there's different regions that have reportings that are saying that PS5 is ahead, and I think we're gonna see both companies, Sony and Microsoft, come forward towards the beginning of the year with new digital showcases to try and kind of do some damage control over how launch has been, and then also Xbox really needs to jump in and say hey, we've got games for you to play, please buy our box, because in 2021 PlayStation 5 is going to have the new Horizon game, it's going to have Deathloop, it's going to have more exclusives, they might even release a new VR headset, hopefully, maybe, if they're going to keep going that route, but
they're definitely going to. They've talked about it, I think, right?
But that's all I've got to say about next year.
I think that's a safe assumption, that Sony's gonna kind of run away with it in the early game. I think that's fair. So we kept talking about E3, and I think I'll take this one. This is going to be the full real year of nobody is going to want to ever look at an in-person event like that ever again. If they do in-person events, it's probably going to be a much more, smaller thing where it's industry insiders and actual developers and publishers talking about actual business, and anything that's going to be, E3-like is all going to be digital showcases from here on out. I think that's just the way things are going to be, because they didn't have to spend as much money to get the word out as quickly as possible with everything they did in 2020. So they've learned we don't need an E3. We don't need to rent out a building. It's complete nonsense, and that goes for pretty much every showcase. It's let's just have a couple showcases a year. We'll have an awards thing or whatever, and it'll all be remote, and it'll be totally fine. And we will have spent less money doing those things, and we will be able to recoup money faster and easier with, or put more of that money into different types of promotions. And It
I
just
also
works.
I also feel like people will be a little gun shy at going back to these things, even if they're around
Yeah.
next year. Like, I'm not just gonna rush back to go to I don't know. It still feel like even with the vaccine.
Yeah,
still,
I
feel
mean,
like,
I don't think in 2025 we're gonna see people be just like, oh, here's a new version of E3. Everybody's gonna be like, why? You know, it's like the 2021's
once
gonna be
it's
the
gone, it's kind of gone. Yeah,
2021's
E3
gonna
was
be
kind
the
of
year
already
of.
like that.
it was
well,
already in trouble.
Yeah,
It was already
I
in
mean,
trouble,
The
but-
fact that they had to start letting in just general public and selling tickets.
But the
like,
general public was really
and it
excited
was
to
not
actually do it.
designed for that. Yeah, until they got in, they were like, "Oh, I guess I can just stand in this crowd and
Yeah.
Yep.
like a current towards a game I can't play."
Right.
Yeah,
And it was expensive too. Yeah, it was really
Yeah, it
expensive
was like
to stand in that.
$700 or something.
it
wasn't
still never stopped. Fable
Jesus.
still didn't stop them.
I think they're still gonna try. I think that's the.
I
That's
think
the
if they
way- it's-
try, they're gonna embarrass themselves so badly that will just solidify, you know, everything going forward. It's just gonna be like, well, this
I
is
don't
just
know. They already leaked all the personal data of everyone who went.
And
Yeah.
E3 is kind of where like embarrassment is born out for the rest of
Yeah.
the year.
It is like, yeah, it's sort of a high risk situation. And
Yeah,
I
you like
don't
the
know
Wii
if the
Music
reward is
thing?
very high. Yeah.
No, you
Well,
didn't like Wii Music, Connor? Come
well.
on, it was.
Do 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 dang 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 do 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 do. Go 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 go.
I'd say the reward is pretty high because we have stuff to laugh at for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they don't. But they don't
Yeah.
like that. They
Yeah.
don't like that.
But they keep doing it, so maybe they do.
I
like
think that's
don't
it.
know.
I think the memes of E3 are finally dead. we can find new memes for 2021. That's my prediction.
I'll try to
Alright.
move on.
All right,
to
Amir,
move
what's your
on.
prediction?
So y'all have been predicting some pretty big stuff. I'm thinking small scale, right? A Zelda 35th anniversary collection.
Yep.
I'm
baby.
praying for it. I'll be honest with you. 'Cause, I mean, I know like the whole 3D collection. It's kind of scummy, right? Because I mean, I think the Super Mario 3D All Stars collection was like running on emulators, and they're literally just slapping these things in a box and selling
Yep.
them back to you. But that's fine. I'll buy it. I don't care.
Right.
So I think that, I mean, honestly, the Super Mario 3D All Stars collection, I feel like they did a lot better than I thought. Or no, they didn't do as good as I thought they were going to, and they had more copies than I thought they were going to. Because I had bought like 2 copies of it just to have one like in my collection, so I just have a sealed one, and then when I play. But I think they're gonna do a Zelda collection because I see a lot of people crying about it, myself included.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's an easy.
That is
What do you?
sweet.
More importantly, what do you think's gonna be on it? Three games. What do you think's on it?
Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
I would say probably Wind Waker, either Wind Waker or Twilight Princess.
Okay.
Wand of
Actually,
Gamelon.
Evan,
Which one?
stop talking.
I said Wand of Gamelon. The
Wand of
CDI,
right? Yeah.
Spirit Tracks.
Yeah.
Spirit Tracks.
Exactly. And probably Skyward Sword, just because I know that there were like rumors that the Skyward Sword was coming into the Switch.
I wonder if
Oh,
they'll.
yeah, the Forgotten Zelda.
I wonder
Yeah,
if they'll do
right.
it more
Yeah.
like, hey, we'll do, you know, Ocarina of Time. They gotta have Majora's Mask, and then, but I feel like
Right.
that might not be a part of it. This
It's-
is like, here's
yeah.
Ocarina of Time, here's Twilight Princess, and here's, you know, Wind Waker, and then Skyward Sword will be their version of the, you know, we're gonna re-release, what was it, through Super Mario 3D World Deluxe. They'll just like do a deluxe version of Skyward Sword.
Actually, yeah,
Honestly,
I think
like,
that's
they
that,
could
that's
just
probably
do-
more likely.
They could just bundle each system's Zelda games together and sell them each for $60. People would 100%.
Hell yeah. No, yep.
Totally.
$60
Yep.
for
Absolutely
Ocarina
would
of Majora's
happen.
Mask.
They absolutely would. Yes.
Yeah.
Who's up? Patrick.
Patrick, is time to predict.
I'm gonna predict that Star Citizen will continue to absolutely kill it. They're gonna keep taking money from the 35 to 45 demo, which I feel like is sort of untapped these days.
I'm so
definitely-
grateful that I didn't get suckered into that because culturally I absolutely am in that.
It's
It's not
are
too
sweet
late,
spot.
Brian. It's not
yeah,
too
it is
late.
not too late. You could fall in with a group of like
Yeah.
harmful gamers.
You
that are
can, you
like,
can
"Brian,
remortgage your home and then just give them your money.
Totally.
You don't have
Right.
any. You don't have any ships.
And then all of a sudden I just disappear one day and start a new life because I
Yeah.
realize it's like a gambling addiction or something. All right, so yeah, I'll bring this ship into the harbor with my prediction. I was also going to predict that Star Citizen did not come out in 2021.
Yeah.
And then what I want to predict, but I think there's a chance, but I don't think it's really going to happen, is that Stadia will collapse in 2021. But I think there's a possibility, but I think Google will try to hang on, especially now that like Amazon's jumping in with Luna and everything. So I think Stadia is going to struggle through one more year. My actual prediction is I think Sony's going to come out with some sort of Game Pass for the PS5, but it's not going to be as good. Like it's going to they won't have like first run games release like day and date on it. It'll be more like just kind of a big back catalog service.
Yeah. They're
And I
going to make
think
it
they've
suck
kind of-
on purpose.
I feel like they'll get one big title, and everyone will be like, and that'll be like in the forefront of all the marketing, and then
Right.
people will be
But
like,
it's going to be like 4 years old.
Yeah.
Like Uncharted 4 will be on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
you get one layer deeper, and it's like, oh wow, look at all this shit. I guess I
Right.
can play any
What,
of
y'all
it
don't like
anytime I
Critter
want.
Crunch? Come on.
Yeah. Oh, I
like,
can play Parappa the Rapper as much as I want. Which I
Well-
love
How
that
dare
game.
you.
I love that game.
Well,
Yeah.
Amir and I about to throw hands at you, Brian.
yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the one area where the Series X really has a huge advantage on them, and I feel like with the PS Plus collection, I think they're testing the water, and I think they realize they have to respond somehow. So yeah, I think they're going to do that, but yeah, they're not going to go as heavily into it as Microsoft has done, because they don't have the money Microsoft does either to kind of subsidize it. So yep, that's my prediction. Very good. Well, this was a nice variety of predictions we had.
So yeah,
Yeah.
come back to us next year at the end of the year. We'll all still be here,
Yep.
and we'll just it'll all be borne out. I don't know
Please
if I want that,
angrily
but, yeah.
tweet at us when none of these come true, because we
no,
love to hear that.
Come look us up when we're all living in respective woods, chopping. Charter a helicopter and come find us and say we need you back for one last video.
I
Ride or
like
die,
it.
everybody. Ride or die.
It's like gaming. I haven't heard that name in a long time.